What's going on YouTube? It's Chris here from Friendly Frenzy Games, and today we've got a condensed guide to get you set up to travel to Raft's first story island, the Radio Tower. Now it took us absolutely forever to get here when we first started playing Raft, and since the game doesn't give you much direction on what to do or where to go, we hope these steps might save you countless hours of trying to figure it out on your own. So exploring story islands in Raft is really your ultimate goal. Really without that being overly apparent from the very beginning. You're going to want to fully explore these islands to collect or play through progressing blueprints, new location coordinates, abundant resources, and also to meet new NPCs that'll help fill you in on what's been going on in the world of Raft. So to first get you started out on the right foot, as you begin collecting resources, usually within the first day or two in game, you're going to collect the necessary receiver and antenna blueprints. Now these are going to come automatically learned once you pick them up, so once you collect them, you can drop them in favor of inventory space. The receiver and antenna array are ultimately what's going to need to be built so that you're able to pick up and navigate to the signals that are being transmitted from these story islands, like the radio tower. From here, you'll collect sand and clay with your plastic hook along the reefs of islands to make the wet bricks. Now since you'll need to dry these wet brick out to use them for crafting, you're simply going to want to equip them in your hotbar and drop them under a sheltered area of your raft, then just wait a few minutes. The dry bricks will be lighter in color than the wet bricks, so once you've collected at least one, you can create a research table and then research all of the components that are required to craft the smelter. Crafting the smelter will allow you to make higher grade materials like copper and metal ingots, but also vine goo and glass. This is really going to help you push through the next stage of the game's progression. So while you're searching for sand and clay along the reefs, you're also going to want to mine copper and metal ore with your hook just to create these ingots. While you're down there, also make sure that you're on the lookout for seaweed that you can collect with your bare hands, because this is going to allow you to smelt it for vine goo. So as we just quickly sort of mentioned, you'll want to smelt your newly collected copper and metal ore to create these copper and metal ingots. But also, don't forget, smelt your seaweed for vine goo, and then research these items to eventually craft the necessary components of the receiver and antenna. These would be things like bolts, hinges, and circuit boards. You're also going to need to craft a simple battery in order to power the receiver. Now once you've crafted and researched the circuit board, if you have all of the required materials, you'll be able to craft the very first story item, the receiver. Now one key piece of information here with the receiver is that it requires a higher altitude than the ground floor of your raft. This means that you're going to need to have an excess of planks and possibly plastic as well as nails to reconfigure and possibly expand your raft to be able to fit this setup. We would also recommend crafting this simple battery now that your receiver table is set up, since you're ultimately going to want to turn it on and off while placing the antennas to check that they're in the proper ranges to be functional. After powering on the receiver for the very first time, you're going to get the first note added to your journal. Now this is going to give you coordinates to the first story island, the radio tower. All of these coordinates are different in each playthrough, but the receiver is going to be automatically tuned to this first location. Now after crafting and placing the first of the 3 antennas, you're going to want to verify that the position is green by powering on the receiver. Then do the same for the other 2 antennae. We found that on a 20 square tile raft, we were able to have each of the antennas 2 tiles away from the receiver and 3 tiles away from the other antennas. This gave us a compact setup that allowed everything to function. A small raft of this size will also help you progress a little quicker, as you're not going to need to have as many materials up front to craft something larger. Now as you can see, your receiver and antenna array are collecting signals from the transmitters around the ocean. The green dots on this radar indicate large islands with trading posts, but the blue dots are where your main objectives are. As we mentioned earlier, the coordinates from the first radio tower story island are automatically set up for you to begin to navigate to. By now, you likely already have some navigational equipment like a streamer and sail, but if you don't, they are basically essential to craft and place at this point. This is because you're going to need to constantly make adjustments while referring to the receiver radar, and this is also to ensure that you're going in the right direction towards these story island objectives and not away from them. Check your receiver screen and adjust your sails often in accordance with the wind direction as indicated by your streamer. This is going to help you stay on course, but it's also going to help you reach your destination a lot quicker if you move with the wind. Also, be sure you've crafted an anchor so that you'll have plenty of time to explore when you're able to dock at these super important islands. After exploring the island and collecting a series of notes, you're going to receive some new coordinates for your next story island, Vasagatan. Now, much like getting to the radio tower, you're going to want to navigate to the new blue dot that's placed on your receiver's radar as soon as you input these new coordinates into your switchboard. Now, good luck everybody and happy hunting. If this video helped you, make sure you subscribe to Friendly Frenzy Games for many more useful guides, tips and tricks, and we will see you all in the next video.